I would probably say definitely receiving feedback is probably the biggest thing. Of course, we can say how we feel, and this is not the way I wanted to be done. We can say all that, but until we are able to receive what our significant others are saying back to us, we can't we can't say our piece, and then when our significant others say something to us, then we just either shut down or we don't receive it or just block it out entirely. That's not how it's going to work. If you can't express yourself, but also receive what your significant other is saying, then things are not going to change. And then once those things don't change, you get resentment, you get more fights, you get shutting down. She's not as open as she may have once been. That communication that could have expounded or made that marriage, bringing that marriage a little bit better, is not going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's something that maybe is a lost art, not lost art, but maybe we're getting further away from because of social media and society,
Yes,
is the
yes,
ability to take constructive criticism, right? Like, as an athlete, there were times where your coach got on you about something, and he was right, like you was in the wrong, right? But maybe
exactly.
he had to coach you in a way that was uncomfortable for you to get it, and that's just constructive criticism. He don't hate you, right? He ain't really even mad at you. He just has to say it in a way, or put it in a way that you can receive it and understand the gravity of the situation, right?
Exactly.
But I think social media and just the societal climate is like, oh, anytime somebody says something to us, they're a hater, or they're trying to hold us back, or everybody's so sensitive, and constructive criticism is like a it's like an indictment, right? Like if I criticize you, I'm a hater, I don't like you, and all that kind of stuff. But and the reality is like sometimes a person outside of you can see what you're doing and saying and be like, hey, I don't know if that's the way that you intended that. Or
Right.
like maybe if we tweak it this way a little bit, maybe that'll help get it going. Is in business, right? Like my wife is I'll come and we'll talk about some business stuff or some ideas, and she'll say something. I'll be like, damn, I thought I had it. Like I'm bringing it to you. Like I know all the information. How you gonna come back at me with some?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. You're absolutely right. Let me see how I can work that in there. But I had to be open to that, right? Because sometimes, like I said, I'm bringing you the idea. I know everything. How you gonna tell me what I know? Like,
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know. So that's something that I think that all of us can continue to work on as communicators. You said you guys don't argue. Do you have a de-escalation thing, or is it just because you guys communicate so often and so well that doesn't really happen?
No, there's still we have our moments where there's times where we can actually we can agree that, hey, this topic is a little bit hot right now. Let's cool down and then come back. I honestly feel like you can talk about I can talk about anything with my wife. At the same time, I understand that there's a time and a place for everything. So just because there is a situation or argument that's going on right now doesn't necessarily mean that we have to discuss it right now. Especially when if there's tensions are high, you can see exactly how your significant other is or how you are. That may not be necessarily the right time to talk about it right now. Kind of let it cool down and then come back to it where everybody can talk with a level head. There won't be anything that's missed and in communication. You can hear exactly what that person is trying to say to you or try to tell you, and then you will be able to receive it because you actually are kind of cooled down from the original time that the conversation or argument happened.